Alright, here is the video review for the Iron Factory IF-EX14 Ultimate Commander. This is one I've been looking forward to getting in hand because it looked pretty cool. And it's from Iron Factory. It comes in a nicely displayed box. There's actually a little extra room from the tray. The tray doesn't go all the way to the side here, because in the first release of this, packed in is also Iron Factory's IF-16A Ilaria, the Lady Commander, their version of Elita 1 based off of their RC figure, and I'm going to do a separate review on that, just since it's a separate figure, and it may not come with every version of Ultimate Commander. But anyway, on to Ultimate Commander himself, and he's pretty cool. Like I said, here he is, and I try to figure out what would be the best way to show off all the modes in order to, without having to go back and redo stuff. So here he is with his trailer, and he's kind of, in this mode, he's kind of got the God Bomber trailer. His vehicle mode, you can see, is based heavily off the War Within Optimus, as is the smaller robot mode. But here, he rolls, all of his wheels spin. This one spins on the inside, the outer piece rotates for transformation. But here he is with his whole trailer assembly, and it's very easy to pop off. You just unhook, because all this is plugged into the lower base pieces. So to attach it, all you have to do is untab these blue pieces from the sides of the leg here, where they're pegged in, and set the trailer off to the side. And there is his base vehicle mode. And again, it rolls. And you can see it's basically his War Within truck. A few minor issues, like it's hard to get these all straight and have the smokestacks trace up with the way these peg into his waist here. But all in all, it's a okay-ish representation of his vehicle mode. This probably is the weakest version or form of this figure, is just the base vehicle mode here. But you can take this gun off, just pop that off, and this piece rotates down to give him his little double-barrel blaster that he had in War for Cybertron. And then the robot itself, I'm going to come out here and unpeg the arms from these little posts on the waist. Flip those around. This piece lifts up. We'll collapse this all the way here in a minute. The legs extend, just like that. They just slide right up. These little knee pads flip up. You can push they're on a little sliding mechanism, and that you can push them up too far. They will slide right off the end if you push too hard. So just push them up until you get a little bit of resistance. Unpeg the legs, flip the feet up like this, rotate them at the waist. This whole assembly rotates down. Lift this panel up to go onto his back, and this piece should easily flip up to get the head out. If you can't, you can push this panel up and kind of push the head up from behind to start the process. But this whole middle assembly, you can see, rotates forward here to allow you to get the head up, turn it around, and flip it back down here straight. Collapse that down. This piece folds up and collapses into the back like that. The arms come around. I'm going to bring them down and rotate them around like this, so the guns are on the outside. You can rotate the guns. You can have them face up, you can have them face down. You kind of rotate them sideways and rotate the fist forward. And then this piece comes around and tabs into the wheel here like this. No, don't sink, don't sink. That's the one problem. The head doesn't lock in, so it's very easy to push the head down into the body and have a hard time getting it out. Do the same thing on this arm over here. Rotate it. Rotate his arm around. Rotate his fist forward. Plug that in, and there is the base configuration robot mode. He's got a ball joint at the head, which allows him to look around and up and down. He's got ball joints at the shoulder. They're a little limited due to this hinge back here and that way that panel works, but you can kind of rotate this as well as the ball joint itself. This piece rotates for transformation here. He's got a bicep swivel right above the elbow, the hinged elbow. He does have the wrist swivel. He does have a waist swivel, as you saw during the transformation. Ball joint hips, and then a thigh swivel just under that. Hinge knees. And then he's got some movement in his feet. No ankle tilt here because of the way it's designed, but he will get some ankle tilt in the fully combined mode. He comes with several weapons, and we'll show those off here. And just real quick size comparison before I show off the weapons. Here he is with Iron Factory City Commander. So a little smaller than Magnus there. Here he is with Evil Lord. And with Shadow Tengu. And you haven't missed Tengu. You haven't missed anything. I haven't reviewed him yet. That's coming up later. And then just here he is with Titan's Return Skull Cruncher, just to give you an idea of how he scales with a current deluxe. So anyway, onto his weapons. He does have the aforementioned dual blaster. Before, he comes with kind of standard looking Optimus rifle, which again he can hold just like that. There's also the two weapons that look more like the Power Master Prime guns that are attached to either side of the trailer. They're just on these pegs here like this. So he's got two of those. And then he's got this really cool like halberd here with the sword, kind of sword axe, which he can hold in his hand like that. But as you can see, it just came apart. You can stick it through like this too. You can put it through on this blade and then attach this on the bottom if you want to have him holding it a little higher up, which makes more sense. But then this piece, like I said, this piece can come off and this upper piece can come off. And then this plugs into this. And now that halberd becomes a sword and an axe. That, I think, is one of the coolest things, coolest weapons he's got, is the sword-axe combo. And they're nice, transparent orange plastic. Although, again, the sword does like to come out more often comes out easier than the post in his hand. Go ahead and put that back in its big combined mode. And of course, we've got the trailer here, which it's similar to God Bomber for a reason. So we take this here like this, you pull these pieces off, these little tabs here plug into these lower half, and that's how they all hold together. So you pull the blue pieces off. Then we're going to fold these up, just like that. And these attach, you want to fold the feet all the way back down like they were for vehicle mode. And then these peg in. They use the same pegs as before. This pegs in right here to the side of the leg. And this pegs onto the side of the leg. And these feet do have ankle tilt on them, which is nice. So you peg those on there. On the back of the truck, of the trailer, pull this piece off and push this straight onto his waist. We go ahead and take these guns off here. And much like God Jinrai, Power Master Prime, they attach down here onto the legs. Now this piece, in the instructions it looks like this piece kind of slides in and clips, and that's not the case. You want to unpeg the wings here. You can see there's little tabs here that peg these into the side. And then this itself actually has little pegs that go in, that peg into the sides here. So you want to make sure when you put it in, you don't just slide it in, you do peg it in there. So this piece comes up, new head pops up, also on a ball joint, which is nice. And this piece, you want to take this upper body, bring this whole assembly forward, turn his head around, push it down into the body like that, and then this whole assembly lifts up some on this. You can see right there, it gives a little gap. Go ahead and reattach that. And this whole piece slides into that gap over the chest and sits right in there like that. Underneath here, the arms were pegged in up here. You take these out and take these out. These are the shoulder pieces, and these just, there's a little slot right here in this, and that just fits over his smokestacks here. It clips on just like that. The arm pieces detach from each other. You open this little panel here on the bottom, and there's a little peg inside there. You can kind of see it right up in there that you put on, slide it over his arm, and his smaller fist grabs that peg, and then you close it up. Same on this side. And then this whole backpack assembly, you flip these down. There's a little jet thruster here. flip the wings out. You can angle them up if you wish. Lift these up. This whole panel folds down. Turn it around, you can see there's the peg hole. Flip these forward, extend the tips. And this whole backpack now attaches where the gun did in vehicle mode. You just plug this onto the back. I need to lift these guns up a little bit. So peg that on. And this connection is probably the weakest of all the armor. It does stay on, but it feels a little wobbly. But once it's on, it will stay on unless you pull it off or shake it very vigorously. And there he is, all armored up. Now, it's pointed out to me on Twitter that you can actually also, if you want, take these guns off of this centerpiece and attach him to those posts on his waist if you want him to have even more guns here in combined mode. So you can attach those right there. He does have a couple peg holes here on the back that you can store some of his weapons on. Like if you want to store this post so it doesn't get lost, you can plug that in. You can plug in this gun as well, just to store it on his back. You can have him hold the double rifles. He doesn't quite have enough room to store everything. Like there's no, unless you want to like stick this straight out of the back, there's no real way to store this sword weapon. But he does have it if you want it. But there he is, all combined. And this is the reason I wanted this figure, because I'm a big fan of Optimus. I'm a big fan of Power Master Optimus. I love the Jinrai mold, the combined mode with God Bomber. So having this is really cool. Like, and this way he doesn't look quite as, even though he has the War Within robot, base robot, the armored up mode looks very G1 Power Master Jinrai look to him. And he looks like he could kick some butt. He retains all the same posability that he had before, for the most part. He's got the ball-jointed head. He's got the same shoulder articulation, same elbow articulation. He loses the wrist swivel because of the armor. But he has the same hips, same waist, same knees, and the feet. You get a little bit of rotation there where it plugs in, although that does tend to pop it off. But and he also has, and he gains the ankle tilt. So he loses the wrist swivel and he gains an ankle tilt down here. But yeah, all in all combined, he's very impressive. Very glad I had this guy come in because he's super cool. And again, just to get a size comparison, since we showed him off with the other figures, to see what he looks like now, here he is with Magnus. And you can see he's significantly larger now. Here he is with Evil Lord, which makes sense. They might go together on the shelf. Here he is with Shadow Tengu. And again, real quick, here he is with the Deluxe Skull Cruncher. You see he's almost the size of a Deluxe. An overall mass, I think he actually may be a little, he might have a little bit more plastic. I think he's a little bit more massive than Skull Cruncher here, all combined up, even though he's a little shorter. Technically that's Megatron, but you know. But yeah, there he is. Iron Factory IF-EX14 Ultimate Commander. Very cool. If you've been collecting the Iron Factory line, he's definitely one to add to that shelf because I'm really happy with this one. And just a quick update, if you attach his guns to the post they were attached to in trailer mode here on the wings, you use the little pegs are right in here. You can, in fact, and you put this in back here and just store it back here, you can, in fact, actually give him all his weapons at once. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, pick this guy up because he's awesome. Double update, here he is with Lord Scorpion, all armed up. Forgot to show him off with him.